Have you ever wondered what separates ordinary lives from truly influential ones? What if centuries-old wisdom could give you a roadmap to lasting success, no matter the era? And what if the secrets to mastering yourself were hidden in the simple virtues of one of history's greatest minds? Today, we're diving into timeless principles that shape the life of Benjamin Franklin, a man who turned humble beginnings into extraordinary impact. We'll explore how these age-old virtues connect with Stoic philosophy and modern psychology to help you build a balanced, purposeful life. Strong principles act like a compass, guiding our actions toward better versions of ourselves. They don't just shape what we do, they shape who we become. Benjamin Franklin, one of America's founding fathers, understood this deeply. Born into modest means, Franklin's journey from tradesman to revered scientist, writer, and statesman was not by chance. It was by design, guided by a clear set of personal virtues. On a long voyage across the Atlantic Ocean, young Franklin reflected on the life he wanted to lead. He drafted 13 principles of conduct, simple yet profound. Rules to live by. These virtues weren't lofty ideals, but practical tools: industriousness, frugality, transparency with others, and balance among them. In the words of Franklin himself, without continual growth and progress, such words as improvement, achievement, and success have no meaning. This resonates strongly with the Stoic idea of focusing on what's within our control, our own effort and character, rather than external outcomes. Franklin's industriousness reminds us of Marcus Aurelius's teaching: waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. B1. Hard work paired with wisdom is foundational for success. Likewise, frugality is about controlling desires, much like Seneca's advice to live simply so the mind remains free from unnecessary wants. What makes Franklin remarkable is not just his discipline, but his transparency. His commitment to honesty and openness in relationships, which aligns with the Stoic value of justice. Being truthful builds trust, the essential currency of any lasting influence. Modern psychology confirms these virtues foster resilience, emotional intelligence, and a sense of purpose, key ingredients for thriving in today's chaotic world. By embracing such timeless principles, you are not only honoring history, but arming yourself with a timeless toolkit for personal growth and success. Let's explore 3 more of Benjamin Franklin's guiding principles, starting with temperance, silence, and order. These aren't just old-fashioned ideas. They're powerful tools that still resonate deeply in both Stoic thought and modern life. We begin with temperance. Franklin's simple advice: eat not to dullness, drink not to elevation. His approach was always practical and grounded. This habit urges moderation in food and drink, warning against indulgence that clouds both mind and body. Stoics like Epictetus taught that mastery over desires leads to freedom. When we control our appetites, we're no longer slaves to momentary cravings. Modern science confirms this wisdom. Overeating and excessive drinking not only harm our health, but also dull our productivity and weaken others' respect for us. Warren Buffett once joked that he still eats like a 6-year-old, implying that simplicity and moderation are key to long-term vitality and focus. Next comes silence, captured in Franklin's line: speak not but what may benefit others or yourself. Avoid trifling conversation. Franklin was no stranger to intellectual rigor. Hosting philosophical clubs, he sharpened his mind through thoughtful debate and preferred meaningful dialogue over idle chatter. This aligns perfectly with Seneca's advice to choose words carefully, speaking only what adds value. Studies in social psychology reveal that deep conversations build stronger bonds than superficial small talk. Practicing silence wisely helps cultivate respect, focus, and clarity, essential traits for anyone aiming to lead effectively in today's noisy world. Then we have order, the idea that all your things should have their places, and each part of your business its time. Franklin believed that physical and mental order are inseparable. Keeping your environment tidy and managing your time with discipline reduces chaos and errors. freeing the mind to focus on what truly matters. This echoes Marcus Aurelius's reminder to live intentionally and purposefully every day. Psychology highlights conscientiousness, the trait most linked to success, which thrives in an orderly, organized life. Imagine never losing important documents or missing key meetings. Order is the foundation of reliability and trustworthiness. Together, these three practices teach a vital lesson. Success is built on self-control, thoughtful communication, and intentional living. The Stoics knew well that mastery of self precedes mastery of circumstances. We begin with resolution, as Franklin wisely put it. Resolve to perform what you ought. Perform without fail what you resolve. He understood the profound strength in honoring one's word. This isn't just about making promises. It's about unwavering dedication to fulfilling them. Marcus Aurelius once reflected, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." Holding oneself accountable to clear resolutions builds trust and respect, both internally and with others. In modern life, consistent follow-through separates leaders from the rest. Those who deliver on commitments create momentum and inspire confidence. Next comes frugality, expressed in Franklin's line, "Make no expense, but to do good to others or yourself. Waste nothing." His lifelong practice of frugality was not mere penny pinching, but a deliberate strategy to avoid excess and focus on what truly matters. Even at the height of his influence, he dressed modestly and counseled against extravagance. This echoes the Stoic ideal of living according to nature, embracing simplicity to cultivate freedom from desire. Today, studies. Next comes frugality, expressed in Franklin's line, "Make no expense, but to do good to others or yourself. Waste nothing." His lifelong practice of frugality was not mere penny pinching, but a deliberate strategy to avoid excess and focus on what truly matters. Even at the height of his influence, he dressed modestly and counseled against extravagance. This echoes the Stoic ideal of living according to nature, embracing simplicity to cultivate freedom from desire. Today, studies. Discovering electricity to founding vital civic institutions exemplifies the power of focused, meaningful work. The Stoics remind us that life's value is measured by virtuous action, not idle distractions. Seneca urged, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." Embracing industry means channeling energy into purposeful tasks that leave a lasting impact. Productivity, when aligned with virtue, becomes the foundation of a meaningful life and societal progress. Together, these virtues invite us to cultivate discipline, wisdom, and purpose. They reinforce that success is not a product of chance, but of deliberate character and consistent effort, a timeless lesson echoed from the past to the present. Now, it's turned to three more foundational principles from Franklin's playbook: sincerity, justice, and moderation. These form the backbone of integrity, fairness, and balance, guiding us to live with honor and wisdom. The first is sincerity, reflected in the maxim, "Use no hurtful deceit. Think innocently and justly, and if you speak, speak accordingly." Franklin valued truth above all else. As a gentleman and statesman, he chose honest, respectful dialogue, even in heated debates. This aligns deeply with the Stoic ideal of authenticity, being true to oneself and others. Epictetus said, "If you tell the truth, you don't have to remember anything." Being sincerely builds trust and likability, fostering genuine relationships. In today's world, authenticity is more than a virtue, it's a strategic asset. People naturally gravitate toward those who are honest and transparent, creating strong social bonds and lasting influence. Closely related is justice, the commitment to fairness in all actions. Wrong none by doing injuries or omitting the benefits that are your duty. Franklin's dedication to just treatment helped him mediate complex political tensions between the US and Britain, proving that leadership requires empathy, not just strength. Stoics remind us that justice is about fulfilling our duties and resisting the urge for revenge. Seneca warned, "Wherever there is a human being, there is an opportunity for kindness." Studies show that acts of revenge can harm both individuals and communities. Acting with fairness not only supports others, but also preserves our own inner peace. And then, moderation, the art of balance. Avoid extremes. Forbear resenting injuries so much as you think they deserve. Franklin's success in diverse fields stemmed from his ability to remain grounded and measured. This echoes the Stoic belief that emotional control and balanced responses help prevent burnout and promote resilience. Modern research agrees moderation sustains creativity, health, and steady progress. Marcus Aurelius advised, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." Practicing moderation allows us to meet life's storms with grace and our triumphs with humility. Together, these principles remind us that lasting success isn't built on force or shortcuts, but on integrity, fairness, and balance. They invite us to look inward and act outwardly with honor and wisdom, paving the way for meaningful achievements that endure. Virtue of cleanliness: tolerate no uncleanliness in body, clothes, or habitation. At first glance, this might feel like an obvious reminder, keep clean. But consider the time Franklin lived in long before modern plumbing or germ theory. His insistence on personal and environmental cleanliness was revolutionary. This wasn't just about appearances. It was about health, discipline, and respect for oneself. Even today, health experts agree that good hygiene is essential not only for physical well-being, but also for mental clarity and confidence. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, taught that caring for the body is part of respecting the nature given to us. Take care of yourself and love what is in your control. Cleanliness becomes more than routine. It's a foundational habit that sets the tone for all other virtues. The power of tranquility: be not disturbed at trifles, or at accidents common or unavoidable. Franklin, deeply influenced by Stoicism, understood the power of emotional resilience. Life throws unexpected challenges our way, minor annoyances or serious setbacks. The key is not to let these moments shake us. As Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Franklin believed in accepting what cannot be changed, moving forward calmly without dwelling on misfortune. Modern psychology confirms this. Obsessing over negative events damages our mental health and happiness. Tranquility, then, is not passivity. It is the active choice to protect your inner peace, focusing energy on what can be controlled. This calm mind is the soil where success grows most reliably. Together, cleanliness and tranquility complete the circle of Franklin's principles, reminding us that lasting success depends not only on action and integrity, but also on caring for our body and mind, nurturing a calm and disciplined spirit. A lesson in chastity: rarely use venery, but for health or offspring, never to dullness, weakness, or the injury of your own or another's peace or reputation. Simply put, this principle urges restraint, using sexual energy thoughtfully and purposefully, not recklessly. Franklin's own life reveals the complexity behind this. Guidance: he fathered a child out of wedlock, a fact that was kept private but known to his critics, and this indiscretion strained his marriage and reputation. This serves as a potent reminder that unchecked impulses can have lasting consequences, not only for ourselves, but for those around us. Modern research echoes this. Sexual misconduct is often judged more harshly than professional failures, highlighting how closely personal behavior ties to public trust. Seneca, the Stoic philosopher, reminded us, "No man is free who is a slave to his passions." Chastity here is less about denial and more about mastery, the power to direct one's desires rather than be controlled by them. It's about preserving peace both within oneself and with others. Let's begin with the first core virtue: temperance. Eat not to dullness, drink not to elevation. Franklin, man grounded in practicality, understood the power of moderation. He wasn't preaching abstinence, but rather balance. Eating to the point of feeling sluggish or drinking to drunkenness only dulls the mind and weakens the body. Today, Science echoes this wisdom clearly. Overeating and excessive alcohol intake increase risks for many diseases and shorten life expectancy. But beyond health, Franklin knew that lack of self-control drains energy and damages how others see you. The Stoics also valued temperance deeply. Epictetus taught that freedom is not achieved by satisfying desire, but by eliminating it. In other words, mastering our appetites frees us to focus on what truly matters. Next, we turn to the second key virtue: silence. Speak not but what may benefit others or yourself. Avoid trifling conversation. Franklin loved hosting philosophical debates and intellectual discussions, sharpening his mind through meaningful dialogue. He avoided idle chatter, knowing that words carry power and should be used wisely. Modern research supports this deep, purposeful conversations build stronger social bonds than meaningless small talk. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, advised, "Be like the cliff against which the waves continually break, but it stands firm and tames the fury of the water around it." Choosing silence or thoughtful speech in moments of chaos is a hallmark of emotional strength and presence. The third essential virtue: order. Let all your things have their places. Let each part of your business have its time. Franklin believed that organization was more than tidiness, it was a foundation for efficiency and clarity. When your environment is orderly and your schedule structured, your mind naturally follows suit. Imagine how many times a lost document or a missed appointment disrupted your flow. Franklin's principle reminds us that placing everything in its rightful place, both physically and in time management, prevents such chaos. Modern psychology backs this up. Conscientiousness, the personality trait reflecting discipline and reliability, consistently predicts success. This echoes Marcus Aurelius' advice to "Don't let your mind wander. Focus on the present task with precision." Discipline and order leads to freedom from unnecessary stress. The fourth cornerstone of character: resolution. Resolve to perform what you ought. Perform without fail what you resolve. Here, Franklin underscores the power of commitment. Keeping promises, especially to oneself, is the foundation of trustworthiness and respect. Whether in business or personal life, fulfilling commitments builds reputation and confidence. Stoics like Seneca remind us, it is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it. True resolution is about honoring your purpose with steadfast action. This principle encourages turning good intentions into concrete results every single day. The fifth key to wise living: frugality. Make no expense, but to do good to others or yourself. Waste nothing. Franklin's attitude toward money was rooted in mindfulness. Early on, he cultivated frugal habits not from scarcity, but from wisdom. Even as wealth came, he chose simplicity over extravagance, famously wearing worn robes to important meetings. Studies today reveal that chasing material wealth often steals joy rather than brings it. As Epictetus taught, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. Franklin's frugality wasn't mere penny pinching, it was a lifestyle choice that protected his focus and happiness. The sixth pillar of personal mastery: industry. Lose no time. Be always employed in something useful. Cut off all unnecessary actions. This principle was Franklin's golden rule. His life was a testament to relentless productivity, discovering electricity, pioneering public services, and championing independence. Being industrious meant filling every moment with purpose. Stoicism echoes this through the words of Marcus Aurelius: "When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love." Productivity isn't just about busyness, it's about meaningful engagement with life. The seventh foundation of strong character: sincerity. Use no hurtful deceit. Think innocently and justly, and if you speak, speak accordingly. Truthfulness was at Franklin's core. In an era of political intrigue, he chose honesty and fairness, believing that sincerity built lasting alliances and credibility. Authenticity, a modern psychological concept akin to Franklin's sincerity, increases trust and likability. The Stoics remind us that honesty with ourselves and others fosters inner peace and social harmony. The eighth code of ethical living: justice, wrong none by doing injuries or omitting the benefits that are your duty. Franklin's sense of justice guided his political and personal dealings. He believed in fairness and going beyond mere avoidance of harm, actively doing good, even to adversaries when duty called. Psychology confirms that harboring resentment or seeking revenge harms us more than others. Seneca's wisdom holds true. The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. Justice, then, is both a social and personal virtue. The ninth discipline of balance: moderation, avoid extremes. Forbear resenting injuries so much as you think they deserve. Balance was key for Franklin. He managed multiple careers and interests with harmony. This principle reminds us to avoid emotional extremes that burn us out or cloud judgment. Modern research highlights that maintaining balance prevents burnout and fuels creativity. Marcus Aurelius urged us to meet the things that happen with calm acceptance. Moderation nurtures resilience and steady progress. The 10th habit of mindful living: cleanliness. Tolerate no uncleanliness in body, clothes, or habitation. Though seemingly simple, Franklin's emphasis on cleanliness was revolutionary for his time, before the germ theory was understood. This habit likely contributed to his longevity. Today, hygiene is a proven pillar of health, reinforcing that small, consistent habits can have a profound impact on well-being. The 11th lesson in emotional wisdom: tranquility. Be not disturbed at trifles, or at accidents common or unavoidable. Tranquility teaches us not to let small annoyances or inevitable setbacks steal our peace. Franklin's calmness in the face of adversity allowed him to navigate political turmoil and personal challenges alike. This echoes Epictetus' famous line: "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Cultivating inner calm keeps the mind sharp and the spirit steady. Franklin was deeply influenced by Stoic philosophy, which teaches a powerful lesson: when something negative happens, especially events beyond our control, the best response is acceptance. To dwell endlessly on misfortune only drags the mind into a spiral of suffering. Modern psychology confirms this ancient wisdom. Ruminating on bad experiences weakens our mental health and steals our peace. As the Stoic Epictetus famously said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This mindset frees us to focus on what truly lies within our power: our actions, attitudes, and choices. A lesson in restraint and responsibility. Chastity. Franklin's advice might seem blunt, but carries practical wisdom. Exercise restraint and avoid excess in all things, especially in personal pleasures. Franklin himself faced the consequences of ignoring this principle in his younger days, which brought challenges to his personal life and reputation. Today, research echoes that lapses in self-control, especially in intimate matters, can severely damage trust and one's social standing. It reminds us that self-discipline is not just a moral ideal, but a necessary part of maintaining harmony in relationships and personal integrity. As the Stoic philosopher Seneca advised, "No man is free who is a slave to his passions." The final cornerstone of character: humility. To imitate great figures like Jesus and Socrates means embracing humility, recognizing that wisdom is a journey, not a destination. Franklin, despite his many achievements, remained a humble learner, constantly seeking knowledge from others. He held zero formal education, but earned honorary doctorates because of his insatiable curiosity and openness to growth. This attitude reflects a core Stoic belief: true wisdom comes from understanding our own limitations and learning continuously. Psychologists call this observational learning, but for Franklin and the Stoics, it was simply the way of the wise. As Marcus Aurelius put it, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love." Humility opens the door to that precious privilege: growth. Each of these virtues, self-discipline, sincerity, justice, moderation, humility, forms part of a greater whole, a life lived with intention. Benjamin Franklin didn't Just preach these values. He practiced them, one day at a time, knowing perfection was impossible, but progress was always within reach, and that's the beauty of this philosophy. You don't have to be born wise, you become wise by choosing the right actions, moment by moment. Franklin's life, interwoven with Stoic ideals, shows us that greatness isn't a gift, it's a practice. So as you move forward in your own life, ask yourself, what virtues are guiding your decisions today? What habits are shaping your future self? Thanks for watching. If this message resonated with you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who's on their own journey toward wisdom. And remember, as Franklin would say, diligence is the mother of good luck. Stay disciplined, stay humble, and keep growing.